What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Tank Choppin coming at y'all with another haircut tutorial. So what we finna do on this client, we're gonna do a 3 and a bald taper with the beard trim. So I got my number 3 guard on there on my Babyliss FX, the red ones. And I'm going over the top, and as you can see, he's thinning a little bit on top, so I'm actually not going over those areas just yet. I got my number 2 guard, and I'm going over the sides. This way the sides do not look longer than the top, since the top of his hair is a little thinner than the rest. So you can see I'm just knocking down the sides with that number 2 guard. So there's a good technique to use if you have a client who's thinning or balding on top. Get a guard lower and hit that on the sides, that way the hair looks fuller on top. So now I actually got my number 4 guard, and I'm going over those spots that I didn't quite hit with the number 3. And this way I'm still cutting those hairs down, but it's a little longer, that way it looks a little fuller on top. So if you don't do this, you might want to try doing it, and let me know how it works for you in the comments. I know it works great for me and my clients like it, so I'm gonna keep doing it. So now I'm taking my Babyliss trimmers, starting my initial guideline for the taper, and you see I'm doing it in like a half circle, and I do that because it helps when it comes with lining up the beard, lining up the edge up. So now I'm just tapping the back of the beard, making sure we got a straight, nice line there. Take my Babyliss shavers, going up to that line, releasing the pressure as I get closer to that initial guideline. Now I got my clipper open, and I'm going up about 1 inch, and then I will close my clipper slightly and fade down. So I'll close it about halfway, then go right below that line, and then close it all the way and knock out the bottom line. Now I'm fading in the beard, clipper open and clipper closed as needed. Brush away all the extra debris. Now I got my number 1 guard on there, open up, and I'm coming up about another ½ inch to 1 inch, scooping out, closing my clipper, and fading down as needed to get rid of that guideline. 1½ guard on there now, and I'm doing the same exact thing. I'm coming up, scooping out, cleaning up behind the ear a little bit, and I will close my guard as needed. So most of the time I close my guard about halfway, and then I close it all the way if I still need to take off those lines. So this is my number 2 guard, and I'm just cleaning up the sides a little more, making sure I got all those hairs knocked down. So now I'm coming back down. So I got my 1½ guard on there, clipper open and then clipper closed, 1 guard, just attacking those dark spots and adjusting the lever as needed to make sure I take away all those lines and those dark spots that are in the taper. It's coming together, guys, looking good. Now I got my half guard on there, my 1/16, and still doing some detail work. I'm just tapping where I feel is needed. Using those trimmers again, hitting that bottom line, make sure I take out the line from the shaver. Now I'm gonna go ahead and line up behind the ear since I already have the trimmers in my hand. Curve right behind the ear, try not to take too much hair off and go too high when it comes to this part of the haircut. So now I'm gonna work on this side of the edge up. So I'm starting off in the middle, and I'm gonna work my way over to the left side of his head. Give my initial guideline and work over, trying to give him a straight, nice line. So I'm gonna keep hitting it up because obviously it's not looking the best to me yet. So I'm just gonna keep attacking that hairline to make sure it looks nice. And I'm trying not to push his hairline back. That's what I don't want to do. A lot of times people push that hairline back because they see a thin spot and they want to just push that haircut that hairline as far back as they can to give them a super crisp line. But I'm just focused on trying to give them a nice straight line. Same thing on the side right here. You don't want to push it back too far. And I'm just tapping, taking away the least amount of hair that I can, but still trying to give them that crisp look. So now I'm hitting up that curve to fade the sideburns into the haircut. Making sure I match those 2 lines up. Some more detail work. How y'all think it's coming out, guys? Think we looking good. So now I'm gonna tap the bottom of the mustache. I give a few brushes, brush all that hair down, and then I start lining them up right above the lip and then right on the top of the mustache. Now I'm moving on over to the beard. Hit the outer parts of the goatee, and I start where the beard is at, and I'm just trying to make sure I give a nice curve to line up his beard to make sure it matches with the sideburns that's going into the haircut. And most of the time, it's never just one tap with the trimmer and you're done. Most of the time, I go over it a couple times, keep just messing with it to try to give them that nice line, a nice curve. So sometimes it takes a little longer than normal, or it takes a little longer than the previous time, and that's okay. You just want to make sure you give them a nice lineup. So right here, I'm just asking him if he's gonna line up the inside of the chin area. He said, yeah. I'm taking off all the excess hair, making sure I line that up with the outside of the beard. Now I'm knocking off the bottom, start in the middle, and I'm working my way over. And this is one of those clients who's been coming to me for a while too, so I know about where his beard, where it looks best at. So his beard is a little easier for me. So now I'm fading the beard. I got the number 1 guard on there. I'm just taking out some of that bulk that I saw. I use that, adjust my lever, and take off the guard, adjust my lever. Now this is the 1.5 guard, because his beard is full at the bottom. I'm not taking off no length. I'm just gonna clean it up at the end of the cut. So this side's coming along good. All right, so now we're on to the other side, doing the same thing, doing that half circle with the guideline, with my trimmers, with my Babyliss Gold FX. Brushing away the extra hair. Getting my shaver, clipper open, coming up about 1 inch, and then I'm adjusting my lever to fade down. So I close it about halfway, and then I close it all the way, and I knock out that bottom line, and then I just detail as needed. Number 1 guard coming up about another 1 inch, and you gotta attack this at an angle. You can't come straight up. Come straight up, it's gonna look like some weird looking tapered mullet type deal. So now I got my 1.5 guard on there, and I'm cleaning up behind the ear, opening and closing my lever as needed to knock off those dark spots, knock off that darkness. And I keep brushing the hair down, because right here his hair tends to curl up. So I want to keep brushing it to make sure that the hair is laying down and it looks nice. There's my half guard. Detail work, just detailing the bottom of that fade, making sure that taper looks nice. And you can detail as much as you feel needed. You can probably do a taper in like 15-20 minutes. I take a little longer just because I do a little more detail work. I want to make sure I give my clients a good taper. This is my 1 guard on there, just doing some more detail work, adjusting my lever as needed. All right, now I'm attacking the edge up again, starting at the middle of his edge up, going with that initial guideline and moving over to his right side, or if we're looking at him, we're moving over to the left. And I always do a couple taps, and I brush the hair down, do a couple taps, brush the hair. And I do this that way his hair doesn't curl up, and we try to get all those little hairs that might be too long or might be sticking out. Now we're gonna hit the back part of his beard, which is coming straight down. Brush away the extra hair. Now we're coming to the top of the beard and the goatee area. And we're basically just following what he had. His beard isn't too hard to do. lining up the inside of the chin area. Make sure that's gonna line up with the outside of the beard. So now we're coming down and making that nice crisp line. Curving it up into the sideburn. Y'all see me looking like I'm gonna do something, and I stop because I'm moving him to see in the mirror better what I'm doing. Remember I told y'all last time, use your mirrors. Mirrors don't lie. So now I'm attacking that curve, but I'm trying not to push his edge up too far back, so I'm just tapping it, and I'm trying to connect his sideburns to the top of that little point right there. And remember, you want to do this without pushing that hairline too far back. Now I'm at the bottom of the beard. Start off at the middle and move my way over to the left. I hope y'all enjoying these tutorials, guys. I'm gonna be putting out a few more. I'm gonna try to be pretty consistent with it. This is something that I'm really trying to do, so I hope y'all enjoy it. So now we're just fading in the beard, doing some detail work on the taper. And this goes with what I told y'all last time, guys. There isn't really like a certain amount of steps or a certain like guideline you have to do. You just gotta, sometimes you can jump around to make sure you give that haircut what it needs to look good. Now I'm lining up behind the ear. Start off at the bottom and I'm moving my way up, curving it, and I'm trying not to push too much into his hairline. All right, now we start on the back part of the taper. Balding up with the trimmers. Same thing, I'm doing that little half circle, little rainbow looking effect thing. And I do this because I feel it gives my tapers a good look. Some people come straight across and you can do that. I used to do that, but I just feel this makes my tapers look a little better, especially once I line them up and give them a nice edge up. Clipper open, coming up about an inch. And I'm following the same shape as the guideline, so that half circle, rainbow looking shape. Close my clipper halfway, start coming up a little more, and then close it all the way. Number 1 guard on there, I'm coming up about another 3/4 of an inch to an inch. Clipper open, and they were sweeping and then knocked down my phone, so I had to readjust. All right, so clipper open, coming up about 3/4 of an inch. Close my clipper halfway, come up about 1/2 an inch, and then close my clipper all the way and attack that bottom line. And I do a lot of detail work right here because the back of his taper, you got to mess with, because you know everybody's head shape is different. So he has these these crevices, and he's got little parts of his head that stick out more than others. So when it comes to doing this part of the taper, sometimes I have to be a little more detailed and I have to do different things than I would normally. But yeah, you just got to play with it. And like I said before, this is all barber's eye. You're gonna learn when it comes to these type of techniques you need to do. You're gonna learn just through time and just doing this repeatedly, or when you do this a lot. All right, so now I got my number 2 guard on there, cleaning all that up. 1.5 guard, clipper open, and now I'm fading down. And you see the fades coming together a lot better now. So I started off with the clipper open, and I closed it as needed to get rid of those dark spots. Now I got my number 1 guard on there, and I'm doing detail work, cleaning up the dark spots with that 1. Clipper open, no guard, and then adjusting the lever as needed to get rid of the extra lines and the darkness that I see in his taper. It's all in the details, guys. I promise the client's gonna love it at the end of the haircut. So now what we're doing, we're picking out his beard, picking out both sides. And once again, my angles aren't the best, but hopefully through time they will get better. Now I'm just freehanding his beard. Getting rid of all the wild hairs. Do y'all get a lot of clients who get beards like this, or do y'all always just trim y'all clients down with the guard? Let me know in the comments. So now I'm moving on to the other side. Starting off at the middle, cleaning up everything else around that. Making sure everything is even, make sure it looks good. Nice and uniform with the other side so it looks even and he don't look like he's got a lopsided face. Now I got my Hanzos. I think on my last video I said they were 7 inches. They're actually 7.5. And this is what I use to do the beard, get the stray hairs on the beard, and a lot of sheer over comb work. But right now I'm just cleaning up his beard. This is one of my finishing techniques. It's like the finisher. You know, I think it's a little finesse game too. I think my clients enjoy when I get these shears and put them to use. Now I'm trimming down his beard with the number 1 guard open. Not his beard, I'm sorry, his mustache. Now I'll comb it down and get off all those little extra hairs that I seen that I didn't get earlier. Knocking off that little bottom piece of hair that he had under the neck strip. I keep the blade flat. As I knock out those extra hairs, make sure that edge looks nice and crisp. Stretch the skin, make sure I'm holding the skin tight. Same thing to the other side. And I'm in the way right there. It's all good though. Like I said, we're gonna get better with it. Now I got the shaving cream putting on his face and on his hairline on the front. Got him lean back with the headrest. Let the client relax a little bit now. Hot towel. Remember, I'll just leave that hot towel on there for a little bit, maybe like 30 seconds, a minute max. Wipe it off. Coming against the grain at the bottom of his beard, making sure I'm stretching that skin back. And like I said, this is a client I've been cutting for a while, so I know I can do that with his underneath his chin area. You know, right where that neck is. For a lot of people, that spot is real tender and real. It's real sensitive, so it's harder to get that area. But with him, I already know. So I'm in the way, but I'm going over the top of the beard, just following that line that I did with the trimmers, making sure everything is nice. You know, taking off all that excess hair, getting it as short as I possibly can. Stretching the skin back and holding that razor flat. Now I'm getting the inside of his chin area. And right here, I'm going against the grain, making sure I get all that hair short. That way it don't grow back as fast. Same thing with the other side. Just following that line that I made with my Babyliss trimmers. And just making sure everything's crisp. So I really hope y'all liking these tutorials, man. Like I said, I'm gonna keep trying to put these things out. If you don't already do so, follow me on Instagram at tank_b_choppin. And we're gonna keep working. It's 2020, we're gonna get this money. So if you're a new barber and you don't understand how to do some of these techniques, feel free to leave a comment or message me on Instagram and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But yeah, man, like that's basically it. That's the cut, you know. He came in, ain't been in like 2-3 weeks. First haircut of 2020. I feel like I did this man right. Y'all let me know if y'all think I iced him out or not. Still just edging him up, going over the hairline, making sure I get it as close to the hairline as possible. Going against the grain. See, I have him lean back and I'm going against the grain. That way the hair is really short there. It don't grow back as fast. Alright, YouTube, y'all let me know what y'all think about this haircut. I feel like I did this man right. Leave your opinion down in the comments. Like, comment, and if you haven't done so, please subscribe and share. I appreciate it, YouTube. See y'all next time.